Bin Laden's last days. Osama bin Laden spent his final days holed up in a fortified compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, where he had been hiding for about 5 years. The 4,500-square-foot compound in the garrison town of Abbottabad was located near Pakistan's military academy and was chosen by bin Laden because of the security it provided. It was perfect for a low-profile. Life there was anything but. Bin Laden lived under the constant fear of detection and had to be cautious of his surroundings at all times. He shared the compound with 3 of his wives and 8 children, plus 5 of his grandchildren. He rarely left the upper floors of the main building, which had limited windows and a high-walled terrace to ensure privacy. There, he spent his time tending to his small vegetable garden and taking long walks with his youngest wife, Amal, who he married in 2000 when she was just 19 years old. The Abbottabad compound became bin Laden's prison for the last 5 years of his life. During this time, he was preoccupied with al-Qaeda's waning influence. Especially during the Arab Spring of early 2011, he held long meetings with his top commanders to discuss the situation and how to respond. Tensions were also growing within the household. According to one of bin Laden's sons, tensions were so bad that his father considered separating from his eldest wife, Khairiah, after she arrived unexpectedly from Iran without informing him or any of his other wives. There was a suspicion that she had betrayed him, and he didn't trust her. His bodyguards, 2 brothers, were also growing frustrated. They knew that protecting bin Laden was a dangerous job, and they were tired of living in fear. They decided that they would leave by mid-2011. One of them later said that they had no intention of dying in a firefight with U.S. Marines. In his last years, bin Laden also came to realize that al-Qaeda's reputation had been tarnished by the deaths of hundreds of innocent civilians, according to a book based on interviews with the Khairiah. As a result, he considered changing the group's name and image, but nothing came of it. All the while, U.S. intelligence, primarily the CIA, was hot on his trail. They tracked him through his courier, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwaiti, who traveled back and forth between Abbottabad and Kabul. On May 2, 2011, U.S. Navy SEALs raided the compound. It was 1 a.m., and bin Laden was awakened by explosions. He told his daughter to go back to bed and told Amal not to turn on the light. But the SEALs had already stormed the building. A firefight ensued, and bin Laden was killed along with his son Khalid, one of their wives, and both of the bodyguards. The operation, codenamed Operation Neptune Spear, was a success. The SEALs recovered 470,000 computer files that revealed bin Laden's plans and innermost thoughts. The Abbottabad documents, including a journal by his daughters, show a leader aware that his relevance was slipping, a man who was isolated and under pressure, a father concerned about the future of his children, and a man desperately trying to stay ahead of the U.S. drone strikes that were closing in on him and al-Qaeda's diminishing influence. Despite the high walls and tight security of his Abbottabad compound, bin Laden's last years were spent in a prison of his own making, a gilded cage of his own design. Inside the house, there was a basic television set, a DVD player, and a VCR, but no satellite service. Food was grown in the compound's kitchen garden, and livestock provided meat, milk, and eggs. There was no alcohol or tobacco, a reflection of bin Laden's orthodox beliefs. He may have been the leader of the most wanted terrorist organization in the world, but his last years were spent in a surprisingly modest way. The raid that killed him ended a decade-long manhunt that had captivated the world. It was a moment when the world learned that bin Laden had been hiding in plain sight all along. That's all for now. See you next time.